Thomas Phelps. He was a sailor stationed on the U.S. warship Decatur, anchored in Elliott Bay in 1854. Standing on the deck of the ship, he gazed at the Seattle landscape, pulled out his journal, and began to sketch what he saw. And actually, this journal is in the special collections at the Seattle Public Library. You can see his sketch. And what's in that sketch? You can see nestled within a forested amphitheater, he drew the 20 or so structures on the waterfront. You can see Henry Yesler's sawmill and his house, flanked by Doc Maynard's house, the Methodist church. There were 2 blockhouses to protect the settlers from Indian attack, and Madame Damnable's house of pleasure. In his notebook, Phelps described the setting as the perfect, quote, business emporium, with the finest timber in the world, soil to produce unsurpassed quantities and qualities of food, a climate teeming with health, water filled with fish, forests abounding with game. The emporium, or store, he saw was nature. Nature that was free to be taken and sold. The U.S. government issued the Donation Land Claim Act of 1850, which made a generous promise. Any white male was entitled to 320 acres as long as they cultivated it for 4 years. And if you were a married white man, you were entitled to twice that, 640 acres, for free. Now, if you look around at the Duwamish landscape now, the towering green cedar trees are replaced by the lifted metal arms of derricks and cranes loading cargo onto ships and dredging toxic sediment from the river. The sound of wind lifting proud eagles is replaced by the whine of polluting aircraft, the wail of passing freight trains, and the growl of heavy trucks. The seaside smells of salmon, kelp, and clams are replaced by the stench of oil, sewage, and diesel exhaust. The meandering Duwamish has been straightened. The forested hills have been stripped and flattened. The rich soil has been buried under asphalt and concrete. The settlers have grown in number. The families of animals have shrunk or disappeared. As of January 2011, the Environmental Protection Agency listed 113 species as being at risk or vulnerable to extinction in the Salish Sea. Seals that swim near the Duwamish are copper-colored from pollution instead of black, white, and gray. The Boeing Company built all of its B-17s on the bank of the Duwamish. Stormwater from King County flows into the Duwamish. The city of Seattle manages public utilities that dump sewage into the Duwamish. The pollution from industrial freight vehicles, ships, trains, and trucks come together in the port of Seattle. There are 30 feet of toxins in the Duwamish riverbed. In stories, the Duwamish speak of the changer, the being who changed the world to its present form. I ask, what being is responsible for changing the world in the last century and a half? We are. We are the changers. We changed the mouth of the Duwamish River from a generous gift giver to a Superfund site filled with long-lasting metals, poisons, and cancerous chemicals. What is left of that, quote, business emporium described 150 years ago with the abundance of nature? What have we done to replenish and strengthen the stock of nature that was capitalized by the wealthy? What can we learn from the wisdom of Indigenous peoples? My purpose today is not to assign blame, wallow in sorrow, or solve the enormous challenge of healing human impact on nature. I want us to hear what has happened, see where we are, and feel connected to each other and all that surrounds us, to add a small fragment to our land's healing. We're going to play Changers.